Countdown, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, what's cracking? It's Paul from I Like to Paint Minis. Hey, today's video is not going to be part 2 of the Tarrasque. I'm still working on that. Had a lot of work going on this week for my job, what pays the bills, and catching up on some other miniatures. But I thought I'd put something out there. I've been asked by a few people to say, hey, what's on my hobby desk? What's my hobby stuff? What do I have stashed? Things like that. So I thought I'd do a pretty generic video of what's on my desk today when you see it, what I'm working on, show you some cool container spaces where I store my mini, maybe some of my plastic crack addiction, and we'll go from there. But once again, thanks for joining I Like Minis, and we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back. Here we go. Let's see what's on my desk. Lots of crap, right? Let's do a quick pan. There's the big bad boy, the Tarrasque. Last try brushed off in part 1 of the video. Got some brushes out. My desk is usually in pretty much utter chaos at times, depending on what I'm doing. Yes, I like to do the cleanup thing, get motivated and all that good stuff. I got some paints in the background. Some miniatures that are primed, probably for future videos, and some of my miniatures don't make it to videos because, you know, I do painting beyond my videos. That's a flat black. Most of my paints, as I mentioned, are Army Painter, either Fanatic or Speed paints. I do have other paints. Maybe we'll take a look at some of these miniatures that are in details of painting stages. Even there goes my my wet palette. Got my fiddles, whatever popper for my speed paints that needs to be cleaned. And right back here in the corner, we got these are paint sticks. Used to get them free at Lowe's. I think they charge now. I'll go over what I do with it. Well, basically, I take thumbtack, a thumb sticky poster tack, put those on there, and then most of you already know, but if not, this is how I get my miniatures to stick to these things. So when I'm priming them, they'll stand up, and I can hit all angles. Sticks are pretty cool. I think I learned that from maybe Uncle Adam. Pretty cool aspect of it. So let's take a look up top. Of course, I'm jamming out to some music right now. Got some miniatures that are done up here, some that are not. That will be done in the works. Some ones that you've seen in videos already in that area. Got some more miniatures there. Let's see back here. I got a base that I was working on for a miniature that I didn't do. But I'll use it for something else. It's good grass terrain, some corkboard. Right here, this is 2008 Warhammer Grimlock and Gas Bag. It's a metal miniature from 2008. Just pulled it out. I haven't started on it yet. This one should be fun. It's pretty heavy, man. It's got to be at least, I don't know. I'm probably lying here, maybe a pound, half a pound. Someone out there knows, let me know. Painting this one up here in a while. This is just a mage or an adventurer of Dungeons & Dragons from Dark Sword Miniatures, but she's painted from a picture of Larry Elmore from Dungeons & Dragons. Definitely, if you guys can get out to Dark Swords Miniatures website, they make some pretty awesome metal miniatures, and I think they do some resin or STLs too. I just bought the metal ones. This is from WizKids. This is from Reaper, Succubus. Been thinking about working on that. Of course, she's got the wings and stuff, you know. That should be a fun miniature to paint. Been recently working on this one. I have not finished it as of yet. Got to do some more things around the skull, the statue, some gems for the wings. Definitely this one's been fun. This is a 50-50. Maybe do some more highlights back in the yellow. This is also from Archon Studios from the Kickstarter I backed. Like I said, got a ton of miniatures from that one. And then as you can see, normal stuff. It's probably hard to see because they're fat black, but these are Skaven from the Skaven Tide sets. I mean, come on, man. Rats with the big ass gun. Bam! These are from Lord of the Rings series from the movie, I think, The Ghost King. Those are going to be fun to paint up. Another miniature from Dungeon Laser, like a demon prince. And then this one might be kind of hard to see. I think a lot of them might be hard to see because of the flat black, not fat back. Baby got the, and then you'll see this is, it's really what it is. It's 3 cobalts in a trench coat or a magic coat. That one should definitely be fun. Cobalts are always up to something, right? Let's see, back here, I was working on this. I forgot the name of this company. It was a game. This store had it on sale, but I bought it for the miniatures. And this one I'm working on as well. I jump back and forth to some miniatures when I'm inspired. But this, I was gonna play this as my character in the current campaign we're playing on Icewind Dale. I was gonna be a monk, Tabaxi, but I decided to be a rogue, still a Tabaxi. But I thought this would be fun. A lot of touch-ups to do on that one. And then just your normal, some demon miniatures in the background, Skull Lord, Archon Studios as well. Sneaky ass goblin. I don't know, just passing through. I got supplies. And then big giant ogre. This one, you know, I'm not happy with it. Some of my friends told me they thought it looked pretty good. Just, you know, once in a while you do paint those miniatures you don't feel good with. That's probably why I haven't finished up his base yet. Definitely got some color in him. Now let's go ahead and pan over. Back here is a curing station and a washing station for my resin 3D printer. I don't use that as much as I should. Definitely pretty awesome though. I got a humidifier to help my paints probably not dry as fast. It gets pretty dry out here in Arizona. If I pause, sorry about that. Up on this wall, this is the 216 Fanatic paint range. My wife surprised me when I got home from a business trip for her birthday. Definitely awesome. These are all the triads. There's usually 6 within one color. And the rack that's on the wall, that was her idea. It was a fingernail polish rack. Painted up there and definitely filled it in. Come back down, zoom back on you a little bit. I don't have them on right now. I don't know if this is Redgrass Games or one of their lights. Then my Nilflix light, Nilflix, saying it wrong, from when I'm painting. You don't see my glasses on because they're on my face right now. They're just readers, but you know, they help me within the small parts of the miniatures. So I got these things. These are some awesome storage containers for different things. My wife found these. They were inexpensive at the time. You can also get them at Office Space or Home Depot or whatever office place that you work at. Forgot the name of them. But they're definitely good containers for storing stuff that you're using most of the time, but otherwise would not fit on your desk unless you have a really big desk. Then I consider that a gaming table. So, and then on top, got some normal stuff, some other projects that I'm working on. Some Warhammer tanks, still working on. The Warhammer graveyard thing that I was talking about a while back with some people. This is almost complete. Got to get the door, some other brighter areas. I got the tower for it. Some miniatures that have been finished or haven't been finished. This is one you saw in a recent video. I did it up for my campaign that we were playing. Spark Ender for Stormwreck Island. And then over here, some normal stuff, right? Like this is water from my wet palette. So when it starts to, you know, dry out, I can squirt some in there. This is like a cake decorating bottle, but you can get tattoo bottles. It's water, it's by real quick. Normal supplies, right? Instaset, crazy glue, super glue from when I'm building models, some Vallejo water. So let's take a look in some of the drawers. Just real simple stuff for storage. But got my brushes, right? Different brushes, dry brushes, quick go-to. I have more brushes than I probably need. Some I should get rid of because they're pretty jacked up. I use a lot of army painter brushes. They're inexpensive, they're good, but you know, since you're going through them quick. Some more storage for tools, and I shared this in a video. I'll link it back about what I use to build miniatures. But I got some sanding sticks in here. some clippers, hobby knife drill thing. These are some off-brand paints that I still have that I haven't used up, but I don't want to throw money away. And I do still like some of them. I use some Reaper paints, I like theirs. And in the back is what's left of a big Citadel collection. I've either used them up or most of them dried out, or I've just chucked them because they don't mix anymore. They don't have the consistency. To me, they don't seem to last as long as Army Painter. Hey, look, Dark Sword Miniatures, check them out. Dungeons and Dragons and Dip It. What up, Dip It? Down here are some contrast paints and stuff from Citadel, some washes. I do like their washes. I'll give them that. Someone starts everywhere, don't get me wrong. A lot of the paints are good, right? They do what they're supposed to do. Projects that I'm either in the midst of or bits and pieces for storage for other adventurers or some people that I might be painting for. And here is where I told you there was called the Kings from Middle Earth. King of the Dead and his Heralds. So I kept that, so I have some paint ideas. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna get rid of it because stuff just starts to collect. You'll find out afterwards. Here's some more parts of my graveyard that are from the Warhammer set, the big one. These are pretty much 99% done. I just don't have a bunch of places to store stuff. So I got these in here. Like I said, these containers are great for storage, right? More miniatures, bits and pieces, more brushes, my makeup brushes, dry brushes, sets that I buy for like $5 a pop because I'm gonna go through dry brushes really quick because I tend to dry brush a lot. More tools, secondary tools, tapes, painter's tape's great in those areas. Yeah, there's candy down there. I got that. It's a Pez dispenser. I actually got that from my DM as part of my Halloween package. Pretty cool. And then just supplies for my wet palette, some green stuff, some Milliput. And got some other stuff down here. Got a candle warmer, so when I want to get in the theme. Just normal bits and bobs. Once again, if this video is too long for you, you can click away, save it, watch it later, come back, whatever works for you. Some miniatures that I've painted up because my shelves have run out of space. So what I do is I like to look at the different models that I've painted, get inspiration, or change things around, right, on my shelf in the back that you see in my videos. Some more miniatures, some 3D stuff that I've printed up that I can't find the one piece that I want to put together. It's a cabin. Get that going here in a while. More miniatures. Here's another great thing. I bought a bunch of this. I watched the video. I don't know who it was maybe Ninjon. They actually all have good ideas. Silly putty for using it like masking tape to base off areas that you don't want to get other paint in. Some terrain. Some WizKids will be painting that up. And here is already primed and set up for dry brushing. I've been doing a few here and there. It's all my stuff for Curse of Strahd. More bits and bobs, but little pieces like zombie sets, bunch of skulls. I bought a skull pack from Citadel like over a year and a half ago, and I still have tons of skulls to put on my bases. Working on this one, put a pause on it. It's the MASH unit. I used to love to watch MASH when I was a kid, young adult, teenager, even now. Catch it in reruns. More bits and pieces that I saved. Some sets you'll find will give you multiple miniatures and multiple pieces to do interchangeable parts. I don't get rid of those. I do have a bits box. We're probably gonna be coming up on that real soon. Some of these are ready, to grab and go off of. Just like, hey, I want to use that because I already know it's in that drawer. As you can see, bits containers, more pieces, some ready available corkboard that I told you I use for bases. They'll be popping real quick. Let's see. Yep, more bits boxes. Can't remember the name of this company, but man, they made some killer bases. These are Candelier Opera things. You'll find out once you start buying stuff that everything looks cool and then you get a ton of it. Pre-made cobblestone. I don't have a roller or anything like that, so I make some of these bases and use them on my bases. More stuff. I have an STL for these. So what I was gonna do, and I'm probably still gonna do, I have a lot of ideas, of course. Paint up the miniatures, get these like a Dungeon Stone theme, and these can be display cases or display settings. So like if I give it as a gift, basically I already have a themed miniature, if you're in a D&D or in a dungeon or whatever else it may be. Bits, bobs, pieces. Hey, here's something. So they had these in the McDonald's Happy Meals, right? And they come one miniature to a box. I think it was McDonald's Happy Meals. When I get ready to go teach some people to paint here real soon, we're just gonna prime these up and paint these, right? Be something inexpensive. They don't have to invest money. These are throwaway, whatever it may be. And they could also be test models when I'm testing out different paints. It's like I feel like I'm showing you everything. I guess I am. Different supplies, lenses for my glasses that when I want to do eyes. These are shotgun. What does it say? Pistol cotton cleaning things, and they're actually for guns or shotguns. But what I use it for is to clean out my resin tray with alcohol because they're cloth and I won't scratch it really that much. It's like a fiber cloth. Tons of bases. Never run out of bases. Kits come with the pre-made bases. Warhammer with the flat bases, or WizKids with the big bases. I make all different types of bases. I'm gonna have bases till I'm 100. And then in here, this is more organized. This is where I keep all my terrain stuff, like my flowers, the grass, stuff that comes from Hobby Lobby from the train sets. I used this as snow before. Got some grass options, and then the Battle Tough stuff, and that's all grass back in there. Different like flowers to work on things, and then back up in here, more terrain stuff. Remember I did a video with these. I think I mounted the Albaron one. I'm pretty sure I can't remember for sure, but these came from Hobby Lobby. Cool tree trunks. You can stain this, put rock on it, sand, whatever it may be. And then normal stuff, loose pieces of cork board, wire that you can use for like stuff in your dungeons or whatever, fence wire. This one's from Army Painter. I haven't used it yet, but it's bob wire. Hopefully you can see the little grooves in there. That should be fun. Did a mermaid for somebody, and I wanted to put some seashells on there. At the time, this is the only one I can find, but I'll use it for something else. I think I got this off of Amazon. But basically, there's the company, Starfish Mixed Shells. They're tiny shells. It's pretty cool, man. Rocks, all the other crap that you would use for basing. The back up in here are some what I consider basing paints that came with my Dungeon Master set from D&D. I use these, got these idea from Ninjon craft swabs. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, off the internet. Basically, I use these mostly to spread my Elmer's glue or craft glue. And those areas, oh look, I'm losing them all. That's all right, they're gonna be used. Back up in here, I'm always told you to have good junk brushes for your terrain stuff. You always have to have enough of those. A lot of these are pigments, different colors from Vallejo. I've used these over the time. Definitely a talent that has to be learned using that. And then the pigment sealer. Then I should also have a few of these. These are pretty cool. From a.k.a. Interactive, splatter effects like mud for dioramas. I use those. Be very careful. They're very potent, and they're also very full. So seal them so they don't dry out, but when you get them open, it makes a mess. Otherwise, that's pretty much what I got. What's in my hobby station. And then we're gonna pan over here in a second. All right, then back here on my shelf, a lot of it's disorganized, but this is where I put some of the things that I've painted. I have a lot of the Army Painter big terrain sets that are kind of disconnected in different parts because I was using them when I was DMing in our campaign. I'll tell you once again, mad props to DMJ. If you're choosing to use things like terrain, characters, and also do a dungeon. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff to bring with you. Definitely being the first time, I learned a lot. Thanks to those guys. Have some of my pre-finished miniatures up top. Some of my Dungeons & Dragons collections, my Army Painter certificate from them. Can't really see it that much. And then we're gonna pan over real quick. And I call this as one of the walls of shame. Let's flip the phone this way. Woo! This is a new thing that I've been doing for storage, but also inspiration so I can keep things when they're out. Say, hey, this is what I got going. Maybe I'll work on this one, today, or work on that one. It's a different way to do things. And then down here, this isn't all of it, but it's a bunch of miniature storage, right? Different things that I've shared in videos, things we've looked at, sets that I haven't even started. You're gonna find out from this hobby that you're gonna get tons of stuff if you get knee deep like I do. And then more miniatures that are already ready to be painted in these plastic containers separated by type of monster or whatever it may be. Those are from the Day Slayer. Some of my Don't Put Lead in Your Mouth miniatures. I have another room that has a closet full, but that's for another time. Definitely this hobby can get away from you. It can be fun. And you know what? It is still expensive at times, right? It just depends. It looks expensive when you go back and look at everything that you've purchased, because if you're painting everything you buy, that's awesome. But I guarantee you, it's going in a drawer and you're like, at a later date, I'm gonna paint this. But otherwise, hey, thanks for joining again. Keep an eye out for part 2 of the Tarrasque and some mini drops, and we'll go from there. And if you got time, drop me a like or subscribe, put a comment, help the algorithm out. Tell a friend who's into this hobby that you know of, and we'll go from there. Thanks again, and thanks for watching I Like to Paint Minis.